Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Friday. Let's get rid of the keyboard because we don't need that. Uh-oh. Juggling things. There we are. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Friday. It's hot. It's very hot. I am not good in the sunshine. I melt. But there you go. What can you do? Shouldn't complain. British always complain about the weather. Something that we do. But we are at the beginning of July, so we are in summer, at least in this hemisphere. So I hope everyone is keeping safe in the sun. If you are watching, do please pop a hello in the comments as usual. I know there's some of you watching. I can see you. Well, not actually see you. I'm not, freakily peeking in through your living room window or anything. But there are numbers. There are numbers on the screen. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, welcome. Oh, Eric's fast asleep upside down, bless him. Must be quite hot being a dog with the fur coat and everything. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Claire. It's quiet in the house at the moment. No grandbaby at the moment. Not this morning. She'll be here later. Good morning, Maharet. Good morning. So today's subject, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking, as we do, and we went completely off topic, and the subject of astral travel came up. So I thought that might be interesting to talk about. So astral travel today and lucid dreaming, thought we could throw in there as well, just to see where we go with that. So does anyone work with astral travel? Have you tried working with astral travel? Is there anything that put you off? Is there anything specific that you use it for? There you go. That's the subject. Let's see where we go with it. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Xenia. Good morning, Emma. Sunny Southend. Yes, it is ridiculously sunny here already. The garden's struggling. Must admit the garden is struggling along with me. But there you go. So that's the subject for today. Astral travel or lucid dreaming, if you've worked with that as well. We'll see where it takes us. Thank you to everyone that joined us last week for the Waffling Witches. We are going to be doing those regularly now, so keep an eye out for the events. We are hoping to do one a month on a Friday morning, so keep a lookout for the events on social media, and we'll let you know. So we didn't finish talking about divination. We have so much more to talk about, so we'll do another one in the very near future. Just trying to synchronize the diaries. Summer months are always ridiculously busy. We also have some very exciting stuff coming up. We are going to be doing quite a lot of online events next year. Online workshops. We've got an online retreat coming up as well. Details of that are on the Kitchen Witch online shop. We're doing more hoards. We're going to be doing more online short courses and workshops, just kind of opening it up, what we do and sharing and putting it out online for people. But that's all coming up next year. So again, keep an eye out for that as well. Lots of stuff coming up. Lots and lots. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Karen. Xenia, gladly in my area it's not as hot anymore. We had 36 degrees. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. Emma, Bessie had her first ice cream ever yesterday. Yeah, Eric likes a bit of ice cream. Got to keep the doggies cool too.
Especially now his skin.
Yes. Eric had his yearly checkup yesterday and he'd lost weight. They were very impressed with him. He was supposed to lose weight. Apparently he was a little bit chunky.
Rude.
Very rude. Good morning, Sue, from a much cooler northeast. We've had rain every day here. Wow. We could do with some of that. Garden could do with some of that. Diane, gutted I missed you last Friday. It's recorded. So if you want to watch the replay from last Friday, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. There's no escape from us, basically. Good morning, Christine. Maria, my plants are suffering, but they really don't like tap water. Okay. My plants have to put up with tap water. It's tap water or nothing, basically. Xenia, hair and makeup look great. Thank you. Have you on the big screen? Oh dear. Diane, thank you, Xenia. Diane, we got lucky with the weather here in the Pembrokeshire. Don't think I've ever been to Pembrokeshire. Only reached 23. It's still warm though, isn't it? That's what it's supposed to be here today. So yes, today, lucid dreaming, astral travel. Let's see where we go with it. So let's see these. Tina, astral travelled a couple of times many years ago, purely by accident. Would love to do it again, but haven't got a clue how to do it. We teach it in the school. There are some details in one of my books as well. I can't for the life of me remember which one. Might be the meditation one, might be the grimoire. I can look it up. Maharet. I practice astral travel and lucid dreaming, both in ritual contexts and just for fun. Okie doke. Good morning, David. What a week of over solar charging. I bet you're pinging off the walls. Went down the allotment yesterday. Everything has gone mental. When did it get the water and feed? We had rain one morning this week. Whole morning of rain. The rest has been sunshine. Let's put this up. Asked you what your lippy was. Can't find the bit of paper I wrote it on. Please remind me. Okay. I have to go and get it. Hang on. Run. I didn't actually run. I just moved quite quickly.
Right.
Yeah. So the lipstick. We're talking lipstick.
What? Yes, you're getting a cup of tea.
Yeah, it's hay fevery here today. Okay, the lipstick is Ulac, Oulac, and it's Royal Sash number 16, a gold thingy. But I've also got a lip gloss, which is some bizarre thing, Skyvy. I have no idea what colour that is, but that was from Amazon, Skyvy. But yeah, the lipstick is Royal Sash Ulac. There you go. We've gone off topic already. We're impressive. Good morning, Chalala. Good morning, Lucky Fairy. Okay, let's go with the basics of what astral travel is first. Sometimes called astral journeying, sometimes astral projection, sometimes an out-of-body experience. I've also heard it called spirit walking. It means that the part of you, your true inner self, your soul, for want of a better word, leaves your physical body and travels to another place. The other place really is the etheric plane. It is. It's not a scary place, dangerous-ish. I think you have to be wary that when you are on the etheric plane, you have to protect yourself. If you do find yourself there during an out-of-body experience, try and raise your vibrations. Keep your vibrations up. That's the lower etheric plane. It can be a bit tricky. Then you have the higher etheric plane, sometimes called the higher astral or the spiritual plane, and that is a very spiritual place. This is where you will find spiritual beings that are wonderful. I think there are many, many etheric planes in between the higher and the lower. It bears some exploring. It will take some experience to work out which is which and to find yourself, how you get there, how you work through it. I do find the astral plane is a very emotional place. Basically, you are actually sending your astral self there, and that's all about emotions. Hopefully, your astral experiences will be good and interesting, but do bear in mind that it can occasionally be unpleasant. Experiences in this plane, in this world, can be wonderful, can be unpleasant. It's that kind of, just bear in mind, you're not going to have an astral travel trip and it all be fluffy and airy fairy and love and light. It doesn't work like that. I think it's your own vibrations that determine which level of plane you visit. But I think it's important to remember that you are always in control. You do leave your body. Your spirit leaves your body, but it is always attached by a cord. There is always a connection. That's what keeps you tagged, I guess is the better word. Thank you. Tea. Too hot to drink yet.
Yeah. How's your lipstick going anyway?
Lipstick's
Did I miss
fine,
that?
thank you. I was going to say something rude then. Your spiritual body is connected to your physical body the whole time by a cord. And it's important to remember that you are always in control of that. You can always determine when you come back to your body. I think it's one of the skills that's quite difficult to master. It does take practice. You have to be in a very relaxed state. It is one of those where your mind has to be in a different state. It's that kind of, it's a liminal space. It's that moment kind of between waking and sleeping. Your brain has to be in a different way for you to be able to do it. There are various methods of doing it, which I can run through. I don't do it very often because, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure why I would use it. It is a good way of visiting those that have passed on, but I work with the spirit world anyway in other forms, so that doesn't really count for me. It is a way of traveling to other places to learn, to experience, to gain knowledge and insight, but I do that with hedge riding. So it may work for you, it might not. And of course, the astral plane isn't restricted by time, and it isn't restricted by dimensions. It's very Star Trek, sci-fi kind of thing. But I think it takes a lot of practice. There are different methods. I think it's important to determine a location that you want to visit before you start. Do the whole process that you would do if you were going into meditation. Make yourself comfortable, focus on your breathing. You have to get into that state where your mind is in that trance state, basically. You can work by expanding your body. Each time you breathe out, you expand your body. Each time you, a bit more, and then a bit more. It's visualization comes into it. When you've expanded to kind of twice your size, which I do with cake, you keep going. Inches become feet and miles, and you leave your body by that, expanding it. The one that I quite like is having a rope or a string. Visualize it above you so that you can reach it. So if you're lying down in your meditative state, visualize reaching out to this cord, and you literally pull and you climb, and it pops your spirit out of your body. There's different variations. It has to work for you. There is the lifting technique. So you literally visualize yourself floating out of your body. I do that one. When I do that one, that body floats out. There's a kind of pop when it comes out of, like, makes that separation. But that might just be me. But bear in mind, you've always got that cord as well, joining you to your body. There are various different methods. It is about finding a way that works for you. It's also about make sure you know how you're going to return before you actually start it. There are various methods for that as well, but make sure you know how you're going to come back before you start out. It's an interesting one. You can literally send your body, back to front. You can literally send your spirit, your astral body, into the next room to see what's going on. Into your neighbour's house, that's quite freaky, isn't it? You could send your astral body to Stonehenge to look at the stones. You could send your astral body to a different country to investigate. It does give you a whole scope of stuff to investigate. But all that time, you are connected by the cord to your body. But bear in mind, you are on the astral plane, and depending on how high you've got through the astral planes, you might meet other people spirit walking. You might meet creatures. You might meet all sorts of things. So just bear in mind that there's a lot of other stuff out there as well. I first learned astral travel when I was doing my Wiccan training many years ago, but I actually knew about it beforehand because I'd read about it in the Dennis Wheatley books. There you go. He includes it quite a lot in his books. So astral travel, yeah, not something I've used an awful lot since then, I must be honest, but there you go. I've missed lots of comments, so I'm coming. Right, okay, let's put this up. Would coming out of yourself and seeing through someone else's eyes astral travel? If you're coming out of yourself, you see through your eyes. It's your spirit that is investigating. So I think that's something else, that's borrowing or something. Good evening, Sephora. Had to get a hot drink and chocolate. Oh, it's always a good combination. David, astral travel and lucid dreaming used to happen a lot when I first started to meditate, just by accident. Yes, it does sometimes. You're welcome, Jane. Scroll. Good morning, Luna. Christine, apparently I astral walked into the bedroom, another half looked and asked me if I was okay, and I just disappeared while I was still in bed. Totally freaked him out. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? It would. Jane, would it be useful to have a singing bowl, meditation chimes handy to raise the vibe during astral travel? That, for me, would distract me and take me out of that mind frame, if that makes sense. Because you are in that trance state and need to be in that trance state to astral travel, I think having something to play or some musical instrument or something would distract and break the connection. But that's just me. That might work for others. Sephora, don't go astral traveling after watching The Sandman. I haven't seen it. I don't even want to begin to think. David, now feeling a bit nostalgic. One of the first books I got was about astral travel. I don't know whether it's one of those things that's fallen a bit out of fashion, maybe. I did learn about it, I say, when I did my Wiccan training, which was many years ago, and I haven't really used it since then because I haven't needed to with the head riding that I do. So has it fallen out of fashion? I don't know. Jane, I'm very susceptible, luckily, to going off on journeys when someone's doing a guided meditation. Is astral travel similar but self-inflicted? It is self-inflicted. You have to focus to do it. It's not like a meditation or a journey because your body your astral body separates from your physical body when you astral travel. It literally floats off, and you can actually turn and look down and see your body lying on the bed or sofa or wherever you are. And there is that cord that joins you as well. So it is quite different to meditation. Xenia, is what you define astral travel comparable to where you go on a shamanic journey? It is different. I've done shamanic journey, meditation, and imagining walking existing places in the world I've been to in my mind. But as for material places, I didn't fact check whether I was there or it was just imagination. There is a difference. I do shamanic type journeys when I hedge ride, and that's me going off into the other worlds, into the lower world, middle world, upper world. Astral travel is taking yourself off to the astral plane, which is quite different. The ethereal planes. It is quite a different space. And there is always that when you're journeying, you are you stay in your body, your spirit, your mind, everything stays in your body. It's your visualization and your energy that goes off into the journey or over the hedge or wherever. When you astral travel, your astral spirit separates from your body, and that's what goes off traveling. Your body stays where it is, but your astral body goes off into the different astral planes, if that makes sense. Maria, it's your mind that goes there, not your physical body. Absolutely. Maria, someone said that you can do it by eating something salty before bed, and then when you're thirsty, you can travel to get water. That's an interesting one. Probably not very healthy for you, but that's an interesting one. Xenia, send the astral body into the flat of the noisy neighbours and plant thistles. That's useful. That is useful. Ruby, the first time I laid down to listen to a relaxation tape 42 years ago, I floated above myself. I had no idea what was happening and alarmed, I immediately woke up. I haven't managed to do it again. That's astral travel. That is astral travel. When you float above yourself and you can look down upon yourself, that's astral travel. It is a difficult skill to work with, I think. Jane, I can manage to send in my astral body to walk, zip Aldi's or Romford Town Centre in order to trigger a shopping list. Practical. Would like to develop it to go on a nice trip to a deserted beach. Probably more interesting than doing a food shop, but not as useful. I like it. Xenia, it's my astral body that I mean was there. If your astral body has separated from your physical body and it's joined by that cord and you're off a wandering, then that's astral travel. But it's in the whole key here, I think, is the astral word. Your spirit body is off into the astral planes, into the ethereal planes, and there are many, many levels of those. I guess it depends what you're believing as well. David found it. Understanding Astral Projection by Anthony Martin, an Aquarian press book. That is going back. I don't know that one. Was it good, though? Is it a good book? How long have you been astral travel? So I don't often use it, but many, many years ago I learnt about it. I just don't often use it because I think because I do the hedge riding. If I didn't do the hedge riding, I might perhaps do the astral travel more. Xenia, can you fact check if things you saw with the astral body are there when you go there later in person? That's an interesting thing to do. If you astral travel to another room in your house and see what's there or who's there or what they're doing, you can that's easy to fact check afterwards. But if you are visiting another place, make a note afterwards of what you saw, anything that caught your attention, and then you can fact check it afterwards, which makes it quite interesting to do. Karen, used to do it a lot in my teens when everyone was reading books by Carlos Castaneda. Probably not how you pronounce it. Yeah, I do wonder whether it is, something that's perhaps fallen out of fashion. I don't know. You're welcome, Xenia. I hope I made sense. David, I remember when I first travelled, it was always preempted by the sound of clanging, like dropping pots and pans. I remember who's in the kitchen and then finding myself standing at the foot of the bed with everything feeling just a little bit off and light. Yeah, it's a bizarre feeling. It is a bizarre feeling. And I think to check that it's astral travel, turn round. If you can see your physical body where you left it, if you're looking down on it, then you have come out. Your astral body has come out of your physical body. If you can look down and see it there, then you have come out. I get a pop noise, not as dramatic as clanging pots and pans. Emma, during our operation, I saw myself on the table, heard the doctors talking, felt myself hovering above the table. It was very strange waking up later. I never told anyone, so not to scare them. Yeah, it probably would freak a lot of people out. It's a very strange feeling, looking down on yourself. David, I think it's one of the first things we used to learn to get used to losing your energy so you can do other forms of traveling like hedge riding or journeying. I think it does come into the realms of that. We do teach it at the school, but it is quite far on in the course. Because I think you do need some experience with meditation and knowing that you're in control and knowing how to bring yourself back as well. Emma, what's that? Emma, your experience could have been astral travel, but as you were in an operation, it may have been something on the spiritual side, but it does sound like it, yeah. David, Aquarian Press books, I felt like they were the penguin books for the occult. That's a very good description. Jalala. Random question for those who have astral travel. Do you feel your astral body leave in your physical body, or do you feel your physical body being left behind in your astral body, or don't feel it at all? That's interesting. I feel my astral body leave my physical body. There is a pop kind of noise for me, and I feel like I am, yes, leaving my physical body behind, if that makes sense. But if anyone else has got experiences, pop them in the comments and we'll get them up. Emily, good morning. Fascinating subject. When you say you're traveling on the astral plane, do things look different when you astral travel because you're seeing things through that different dimension? Yes, and no. I think it's probably different for different people. I think it's also different depending on what level of the astral plane you're in, because there are lots of levels. On a good journey, it is like, I imagine a bird sees things flying above it. Bird's eye view of everything. It looks fairly similar, I would say, but that's only my experience. It depends whether you're visiting places or where you're going, I guess, as well. But yeah, for me, it is that bird's eye. Like, I imagine a bird flying above the countryside or wherever you're going to, floating, flying, looking down on things. But for me, it looks fairly normal, if you can use that term when you're talking about it. But again, if anyone's got any other experiences, put them in the comments and we'll get them up. David, not sure I could handle looking at myself sleeping. It's what I was dribbling. Well, most of us do at some occasion. How can I master astral travel? Should I use an entity to assist? No. No. I would recommend you only try astral travel if you have mastered the art of meditation to a significant degree. Do some research. Find some proper instructions. No, you won't need any entity to assist you. It's something that you do on your own. But it takes quite a bit of practice. Do some research on it. Ruby, I've seen a lot of people on YouTube discussing their remote viewing experiences, including in a military setting. Yeah, it is that kind of thing. That's probably another way of describing it, really. Remote viewing, because that's really what you're doing. Lucky Fairy Queen. So here's one thing I've noticed. Astral travel happens usually by accident for me. I feel very conscious of my body and staying in there. What can I do to be more confident? Practice. Practice makes perfect. It really does. I think it is one of the skills where you do have to practice with it. But do it for short periods of time. You don't have to set out to travel to the other side of the globe. You could just separate your spirit body from your physical body and hang up in the ceiling for a bit and then come back down. And then when you're feeling more confident, travel to another room of your house. And then when you're feeling a bit more confident, travel out to the garden of your house. Practice it, but do it in short steps to get used to it. Lucky Fairy Queen. Not feeling scared that I'm not coming back. I feel like I hold on to my energy like crazy. Yeah, that's us control freaks. It can take some practice, but just do it. Short steps, baby steps. Practice with it, and you'll get more confident. Jane, in an episode of Help My House is Haunted, Chris found himself in a room in a castle that he dreamed about months earlier. Is it a precognitive dream? Is a precognitive dream a form of astral travel? I would say no, but not my area of expertise really. Dreaming is a whole different thing, I think, and we'll come on to lucid dreaming in a sec as well, because I think dreaming is a whole thing by itself as well. To astral travel, you have to actually come out of your physical body. In a dream world, you don't do that. So I would say no, but everyone's different. All the experiences are different. So, Tina, I've had many dreams of flying. We have dreams is a whole different thing, isn't it? There are lots of books on dream analysis, and some of them are good, some of them bad. I think dream analysis has to be done by you. I think, what does flying mean to you? When you think about flying, what does it mean to you? Because I think dream analysis has to be what it means to you, because flying might mean something completely different to someone else. So interesting though, particularly I think if you have repeat dreams. My repeat dreams quite often feature the ocean, which I associate with emotions. Flying to me is freedom, but it might mean something different to you. David, you do get indicators, but you could miss them. It's always good to go through a little checklist, like as Rachel said, turn around and see if you're still laying down. I think for me, that's the first key to know that you are astral traveling. You do feel different, yeah, but like in a dream, you can miss it as your brain just wants to go with it. Yeah, it is a practice. Xenia, bird flying. I imagine the borrowing Granny Weatherwax does. Wouldn't that be very cool? Definitely very cool. David, I have a friend whose remote viewing is unbelievable. She's only learning and finding her feet. She's being mentored by another witch, but she's a natural. I think it is perhaps one of those things that you're either going to be really good at it or not, but it is something that does take practice if you're not, if that makes sense. Some people do have natural skills with all types of different witchcraft, different meditations and such. There will always be areas of craft, magic, spirituality that we are better at than others naturally. Interesting skill to have. Lucky Fairy Queen. Have had this beautiful experience of flying over a field of beautiful green glass. Love the experience. Nice. It's a free thing, isn't it? The freedom of flying. Christine, so if I astral travel to wake up my horrible neighbours, would they see me as a ghost and scare them to bits? It depends. It's an interesting thing. Not a lot of people will see you. Only those that are really tuned in will be able to see someone astral travelling into their room or wherever. Otherwise, you are on a completely different plane to this plane. So folk generally aren't going to be able to see you. Sorry, Christine. Tina, when I first astral travelled, I was about 19. I hovered over my body. Then I felt like I was in a cloud. I saw other beings, humans. It all felt extremely peaceful and beautiful. Nice experience. Jane, I also have a lot of flying dreams. I think they mean rising above mundane things, seeing the bigger picture, or perhaps escaping something. Perfect. I would say that's a perfect description, which is why it is very personal as to what it means to you. Claire, if you have to return quickly, do you feel a thud when going back into your body? This is one of the important things I think about astral travel. Make sure you are in a place where you won't be disturbed. it can really, really throw you out of sorts if you come back like that too quickly. It can give you a headache. It can make you feel all wonky all day. It's better to be able to bring yourself back slowly and gently, and then you won't feel all out of whack. Again, it's very personal. I get that popping noise, but it will be different for other folk. But it is, bear in mind that it will make you feel a bit wonky if you are jolted back. Jalala, I did dream of a location once, and it was one of those dreams that feels very significant. It was inside a building, and years later I walked into a building, couldn't breathe as I knew it was the building, really blown away. It was the most strange and mind-blowing experience. Those ones, I do wonder sometimes whether they are past life things as well. That deja vu kind of thing. It's interesting. It is interesting. So if you've had any other astral travel experiences, pop them in the comments, or hints or tips or questions, pop them there. I will just quickly go over lucid dreaming. Somehow they're not the same thing, but they often end up being in the same discussions. I think everyone's dreams, as I say, are very personal. Are they messages? Are they always messages? No, I don't think so. I think your mind is very complicated, and I think it tries to process what's happened to us during the day. It processes it at night, and it doesn't, or very rarely do mine actually make any sense whatsoever. I think perhaps sometimes they are just your brain saying, look, just bear this in mind, or here's kind of, this is what we should do about this. But it gets so confused that it puts it in sorry, my phone's ringing. That it puts it into kind whatever it can grab hold of. I did read somewhere that your brain can't produce new faces. So when you dream, it just uses faces of people that you've seen on television, or from your past, or family members, or people that you know, or people that you may have just passed in the street. So quite a lot of the time it won't make sense. If you are interested in dream interpretation, keep a journal and go back to it. Write down your dream first thing in the morning, and then go back to it a couple of days later and see if there are any things that make sense to you. Lucid dreaming is an interesting one. So lucid dreaming is when we become aware of what and when we're dreaming, and that the skill of being able to interact with your dreams. That's lucid dreaming. It is about being able to control your dream, not in that kind of control freak kind of way, but trying to understand your dreams and directing your dreams. I think it's kind of a step on from daydreaming, but it is about being able to control the direction that your dream goes in. Daydreaming, you're still awake. Lucid dreaming, you are asleep, but you are able to control it. My son can do it naturally. He's not a magical or spiritual person, but he's been able to lucid dream since he was a child. It's about being able to direct dreams, or turning the direction of them, making them go somewhere else. Or when you've woken up, go to the bathroom, come back, you can jump back into that dream and take it where you want to take it. That's lucid dreaming. It's an interesting thing to do. There are a few ways of checking that you are lucid dreaming. Thinking about something tactile, so touching the soil in your dream. You know what earth and soil feels like. So if you do that in your dream and it feels like soil, good chances are that you're lucid dreaming. But actually being able to do that reality check means that you are lucid dreaming. It's interesting. It's interesting. Is it useful? It's interesting. I don't know how useful it is. But yeah, controlling your dreams, that's lucid dreaming. Oh, lots of comments. There we go. Jane, only managed to come out of my body once. Something distracted me and I came back with such a thud. It actually shook me and left me all of a dither for a while. Yes, it does. If you do come back with unexpectedly, it does. It throws you out of whack. Diane. Very rarely remember my dreams, and if I wake up in the night mid-dream, the last thing I want to do is wake up and write it down. Yeah, I have a practice that I don't always remember my dreams. When I wake up in the morning, if I've had a particularly intense dream, I don't move. I lay there for a minute and just replay the important parts through my mind, just to refresh myself. Once I've replayed it through it once or twice, then I'll get up. That helps me remember the important bits. There are various different techniques for remembering your dreams, but that one works for me. Sephora, how do you protect yourself from something astral in your space? The same way that you would normally. The bubble protection bubble works on the astral plane just as it does on the physical plane. It is your psychic energy, so putting yourself in a bubble will protect you. You can also make sure that you are holding on to a piece of protective crystal when you astral travel. Before laying down, getting ready, hold on to a piece of protective crystal. You could place a circle of protective crystals around you. But for me, I use the bubble shield, psychic shield. It works on the astral plane as well. Jalala, the only lucid dreaming I've had was recognizing I was in a bad dream and waking myself up, which is helpful. Xenia, lucid dreaming and tweaking dreams must be fun. It never happened to me though. No, I'm no good at it. It's not a skill that I can do, but useful. Jane, in my experience, if I have a vivid dream and it stays with me and preys on my mind for any length of time, it's a message and I mustn't ignore it. That's a good way of looking at it. Followed up a dream by changing my GP as told in the dream and got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Not good being diagnosed, but good being diagnosed as they didn't miss it, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think you're right. I think if it is quite vivid and it stays with you, then it's for a reason. Christine, I've done the waking up mid-dream and going to bathroom, then going back to the same dream with the same people fascinated me. That is a skill. That is a skill. It's an interesting thing to look at, dreams, but I think a lot of it is take it with a pinch of salt kind of thing, because a lot of it is just your mind trying to explain things, really. David, I can never fly higher than tall buildings, trees, which really annoys me in my dreams. It's like a force anchoring myself still to the ground. I'm with your energy levels, David, I'm surprised you aren't flying around the planet. Interesting though. I wonder why. I wonder why. Lucid dreaming is good for gaining esoteric knowledge. I'm not. Yes and no. There's no shortcut to gaining knowledge of any kind. It all takes hard work. It all takes hard work. There aren't any shortcuts. It would be nice if we could just dream and download it all, but it doesn't really happen like that in my experience. Emma, I change my nightmares from the nightmare to a field of flowers. Then I do the 5 senses in my dream. Things I can see, smell, taste, and then bring myself out of the sleep I'm in. Clever. Very clever. Very good idea. That 5 senses thing is very useful, isn't it? Good morning, Kerry and Ebony. Jane. Most of the lucid dreams I have involve needing a toilet. I do dream about that quite a lot, which automatically wakes me up. Yes, sometimes I return to the same dream and carry on whatever was happening. It's a skill. It is a skill. Is it a useful one? I don't know. I don't. It's interesting. I don't know what skill it would provide you with. I don't know what use it would provide you with, really, other than it's interesting. Tina, didn't realise what lucid dreaming was. This is how I dream nearly all the time. 99% of the time I'm in control and direct my dreams. Also, sometimes I'm watching myself and controlling the outcome. It is lucid dreaming when you control it. I do wonder whether it is one of those natural things. Say my son does it naturally without even thinking about it. It's an interesting skill to have, and a nice one to have, I would say. David, don't like doing lucid dreaming now. I just go with the dream knowing it's a dream. I want to know what the dream has to say. Okay, yep. Mind you, if I don't like it, I have gone around eating everyone in the dream before as a fire-breathing Wolverine character from Marvel. Okay, I don't want to be in your dreams. You know. Xenia, if you dream of a toilet, don't use it as a trap. I do find if I dream about a toilet, it's because I do need to wake up and go to the bathroom. Yeah, definitely. I think it's an interesting skill, but I think dream. I mean, does anybody work with dream interpretation? I do struggle with it because I do think it is very, very personal. I don't think you can dream about something. Oh, I dreamt about bears. Let's look that up in a book. Don't think I've ever dreamt about bears, to be honest. But I've dreamt about money, or I've dreamt about flowers. Let's look it up in a book and see what it means. I don't think that works because I think it is too personal for you. What bears mean to you might be different to someone else, or you may have just seen a bear on the television that day and that's why it's popped into your head. I think it's a very, very personal thing to interpret dreams. I do think some of them have messages. I think most of them are just your brain trying to sort stuff out. But I think, as Jane said, if it's prominent, if it stays with you, then there is a meaning behind it, so it's worth investigating. Here we go, Christine. If I have a question, I will say before I go to sleep to help me find a solution to whatever I need to know. Most times I do get an answer. Yes, that works quite well, doesn't it? Just putting it out there that's how you'd like the answer. And I think as well, sometimes spirit animals or deity will come into your dreams, and they might have messages for you as well. So those ones are worth watching out for. Jane, sometimes esoteric knowledge is inherited from a past life or three. Skills and knowledge can be planted in the spiritual DNA through generations of our souls, not necessarily our bodies. Yes, I do agree that there are things that we remember, but I think we still need to go through the process in this life. I don't think I've learnt witchcraft. I think I've remembered it from past lives, but I still need to go through that learning process. It just, some things come easier than others. Some things feel more natural than others, some areas of it, because I've done it before in the past. I don't think you can lucid dream or astral travel and download all of that knowledge. I don't think that's how it works. But yes, I think there are those threads running through us from past. Yeah, absolutely. Kerry, I don't dream. The last dream I dreamt anything was when I was on patch stop smoking. It was amazing and in colour. Still remember everything, waking up for pee, going straight back to where I was in the dream. You will dream. You have to dream to get proper night's sleep. It's whether you remember them or not. There's something scientific. We all dream. You don't always remember it. Interesting though that the patches brought it all to forefront of your mind. Interesting. Sephora, if you dream that you are looking out of someone else's eyes, what is that? Scared the poop out of me a couple of times. It's happened. Not sure I've ever done that. Not sure I've ever done that at all. Yeah, that would freak you out completely, wouldn't it? I have no idea what that is. Never happened to me. Very freaky. is that perhaps just your brain trying to tell you something or to process something? Is it about looking at things from another perspective, from the other person's perspective? Is that your brain saying you've got to look at this from a different angle? I don't know. Possibly. I don't know. Jalala, when I've studied dream work as a therapist, there is a theory that everything in the dream is you. Which part of you is running from another part of you? Okay, which part of you is angry at, afraid of another part of you? Which part of you is feeling exposed? That makes sense, which is why I think it is very personal, and it is your subconscious trying to just process stuff. But yeah, I think it's very personal, isn't it? But it is. It's amazing when you think about it, how our brains work and how our conscious and subconscious works. Very, very complicated. Interesting, though. Yeah, I can see that. David, dream interpretation can change with every dream, which is something you have to have in mind. As Deanna Troy said in Next Generation Data, sometimes a cake is just a cake, yes. But sometimes it could mean you like a colour or there's a message in the icing. Or your new diet is making you hungry. I feel you have to write it down and use your intuition or meditate on it. Yes, dreams are the same as messages from spirit animals or deities or omens that you see around you. Sometimes a cake is just a cake. You have to decide whether that message is important or not. Deanna Troy is a bit of a legend, obviously. Christine, Zephora, could that be possession while you're asleep? No, I would no. I think the likelihood of anybody possessing you in your sleep is infinitesimal, unless you're in a Hollywood movie. But that's just my opinion. Just my opinion. I think it's more likely that your brain is trying to get you to see something from a different perspective. Zephora, I wonder if a previous life dream as one dream was set in another time and ended very violently. A memory, you mean, like a past life memory? Interesting. Could be. But again, it could be that, you've seen something on the television or read something in a book, and it's your brain's picked up on it. There are no definitive answers here because the scientific, medical, absolute answer is that we don't know. Your brain is very complicated. How it processes your brain's not complicated, don't worry. Most brains are complicated. How we process it is all very personal. It is images. It's images and how we relate to them. Very, very personal thing, I think. There are methods to remember your dreams. There are methods to lucid dream. There are methods for astral travel. It's about finding one that works for you. It's also about not beating yourself up if it doesn't happen, because some of these skills do take a long time to learn or a lot of practice to work with. Jane, I think most dreams are all the dross in our brains being gathered up and chucked out, a bit like tidying up and defragging our hard drive. Oh, that's going back a bit to make room for more useful stuff. I can remember defragging your hard drive. Yes, I think you're right, Jane. That, I think a lot of it is that. It's just them going, yeah, let's just throw this all into the blender. See what happens. Zephora, are there recommended crystals that enhance dreams? Yes. Again, I think it's quite personal. It is up to you what crystals you're drawn to. I'm going to open the crystal book. I'm going to open it on the screen because I haven't actually got the book with me here. It's in the other room. No, it's in the other room. It's in the kitchen on top of the something. He's gone running out there. Bless him. Let's have a look. Merci beaucoup. Crystal magic. So let's have a look. So astral travel crystals. Celestite, very good. That is very, very otherworldly, very astral realms. Celestite, howlite, quartz, clear quartz, good all-rounder. Silver's very good as well. Tourmaline is very good. That's for astral travel. And dreams is... Sorry, but the dog needs his blanket moving. Dreams. Dreams. Green aventurine. Bloodstone. Celestite again. Kyanite. Kyanite's a nice one for dreams. Lepidiolite, good one for dreams as well. Moonstone. Quartz again. Silver. Sodalite, all good for dreams. But it has to be one that you connect with as well. Again, personal choice. Christine, as a child, I used to have a dream of a place that was like in a desert, and I saw people there. It was very familiar to me. Then I watched a program on TV about Egypt. I saw the exact place that I saw in my dream. Did a past life meditation again, saw the same place again. In Egypt, it's all very strange to me why it's happened like this and why did this happen as a child. I think as children, no, we are more open to things, aren't we? We don't have any preconceptions. We don't have any hang-ups about anything. I think we are open to anything and everything. Our daughter used to see spirits in the house when she was little. Children see things. They understand things. They are open to things. And I think perhaps that plays a lot into it, doesn't it? Interesting experience, though. Jalala, I have 2 mahusive lime linden trees in the garden, and the flowers are known to help with vivid dreaming and journeying. Yes, nice to work with. Emma, I think my tarantula astral travelled once. She was walking on my bed. I freaked out, checked she was still in her house, and she was. She scared the life out of me. Okay, weird. Very weird. Freaky. Jane, I find my dreams are a lot less chaotic when I sleep with rose quartz under my pillow. Very calming stone, very peaceful, very gentle energy, so that makes sense. I also have a little chakra stripy angel under the pillow to keep things in balance. Nice. It's got to work for you. Maria, used to sleep with a sodalite stone under my pillow, which helped me sleep. Again, very nice one for sleeping with, very nice one for giving peaceful dreams. Xenia, often remember dreams when I'm wearing moonstone or rainbow moonstone at night. Without them, not so much. Moon, mysteries, nighttime, fits perfectly. Jane, like Christine, I used to dream of a particular building and staircase as a youngster. Decades later, I saw the same place in a program on TV. It was near the Liverpool docks. I think we do. We are open to stuff when we're children, aren't we? And we don't have this, oh, that doesn't happen. Oh, that can't happen. We are more open to stuff, aren't we? I think we do. There are reoccurring dreams. I quite often dream about being in a school or a library or a hotel. Big buildings, lots of rooms. Got to be something in that. My subconscious is obviously telling me there's probably something about being organised. But it has to mean something to you. But all very interesting. Astral travel, lucid dreaming, if it takes your fancy. It's not for everyone. It's not something I do on a regular basis. But it is, I think astral travel is possibly more useful than lucid dreaming. But it can take some practice to do, and not for the beginner. I think you do have to have some spiritual, magical skill set in place before you attempt it, just so that you know how to handle anything that you meet out there in the astral realms, and also so that you know how to get safely back without putting yourself out of whack completely. Interesting subject. Thank you to everyone for sharing with me. It's always interesting to get other viewpoints. Everyone comes at things from a different viewpoint. There are no right and wrongs here. We all have our own opinions about things. There's nothing to say that anyone's right or wrong about it. Got to do what works for you, absolutely. So we do have free online workshop and ritual tomorrow evening, Saturday the 5th of July, 6 till 8 on the Kitchen Witch YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page, talking about summer magic, doing some spell work, doing a ritual. Everyone's welcome, obviously, but keep an eye out for all of the stuff we've got coming up. Lots of stuff happening, and as always, we will see you tomorrow. Lucky Fairy Queen, thank you. As always, we're open to suggestions. Anything you want us to do, talk about, workshops, events, anything we can help with, let us know, and we will see what we can do. Xenia, often dream about travelling and sightseeing very beautiful places. No clue why this is. Then I wake up and regret not being there. That's because you go there anyway. International traveller, Xenia. Diane, yes, it will be recorded. It will be recorded. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your input and support as always. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.